As the wave of defections to the ruling All Progressives Congress dominates Nigeria's political space, the possibility of a strong opposition or coalition continues to diminish. Now, the influx of politicians into the APC has raised concerns around the emergence of a one-party state. Now, reacting to this, the national chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has said that the idea should not be opposed to it, reflects the desire of the Nigerian people. Now, Ganduje also said that the large number of political parties in the country creates obstacles for effective democratic governance. Now, citing China as an example of unified political leadership driving development, Ganduje suggested that a single-party system could streamline governance in Nigeria. Now, some shareholders have criticized defectors, saying that the defections do not represent the will of their various constituencies, but rather selfish desires or fear of prosecution, etc. Now, the question is, would the APC be able to manage this humongous success with politicians moving to the party? Well, joining us to discuss the gale of defections and if there is a chance for a strong coalition to unseat the APC in 2027 is Farouk Aliyu, who is a foundation member of the APC and a former member of the House of Representatives. Welcome to the morning show, sir. Thank you for joining us. We are talking about the spate of defections coming into the APC. It definitely puts the ruling party in quite a strong position. So when we're looking at this, I can imagine that while you are seemingly very happy to see your party grow in such a way, there should be, or is there rather, a fear that perhaps you would expand and burst, essentially. And I do think it would be nice to start this conversation on Nyesom Wike, for example. Of course, we know that he is a member of the PDP and he did show face at a meeting. But do you ever have any fears as a member of the APC that what is discussed within the confines of your party could somehow find its way as fodder within the PDP? Just if we could start there.
In terms of governance, involves everybody because the government of the day does not belong to APC. This government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu belongs to all of us, all Nigerians, which means each and every Nigerian has the right to participate in the government. But when it comes to our issues in APC, what we do, how do we get more people, or what do we do with some members, we don't discuss that with Wike at all. We don't close doors with him as far as the party is concerned.
Thank you.
Okay, let's... That your answer was too brief. I don't think you addressed the issues raised by Adefemi.
Okay, okay, what are the issues? Come again, please.
Okay, you want to...
Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr.
Now, let me ask you about the possibility, the fear, the threat of a one-party state. Dr. Ganduje says that, one-party state, there is nothing wrong with it. After all, China is a one-party state. And that if Nigerians want a one-party state, they are welcome. APC, is already ready for 2027. But your own opinion, as a man who is involved in the democratic process, do you think that a one-party state is a good thing for Nigeria?
No, absolutely. One-party state, it's certainly not the best for us. And we in the APC are not looking towards one party. I mean, what Ganduje said was his opinion, absolutely. It's not the opinion of the party, even though he's our leader. But that's not the opinion of APC that we want one-party state. But I want you to understand that what is our fault if anybody wants to join APC? I mean, we have been in opposition, and we stayed in opposition until when we, found ourselves in ruling party, with all the intimidations and so on and so forth. So if the members of the PDP or other parties decide to join us, we will not stop them. So that's their business. But honestly, having everybody joining, APC is not good for democracy. It's not. But then what do you do is democracy also, which means the people have the right to say, okay, you in APC, since all of you are in APC, now we're not going to vote for APC, we vote for any other party. So let this not scare anybody, because the people will decide who governs them. Whether 90% of Nigerians, decide to join APC in terms of numbers. But when it comes to voting, the people will decide whom to go with. So if the Nigerian public don't accept this gale of movement, they have the right to decide when the election comes. But you know, when you spoke, the other lady spoke about intimidations and so on and so forth. I mean, can you say the former governor of Kebbi State was intimidated? This was a person who defeated a sitting governor. Our sitting governor of Kebbi State was contesting to be senator. He defeated him, you know, and now he decided on his own to move. Today, this afternoon, he's going to move formally to APC. So if you look at these kind of things, what's our fault? Our fault, it's nothing, but probably they have accepted what we're doing as a government. That's what I think. I
mean, you touched on the fact that you, on the one hand, accept that a one-party state is not a good thing for democracy, even though your party obviously individually benefits from these defections. You have obviously admitted that it's not a good thing for democracy, and then you're also saying that the electorate, the Nigerian people, have the right, if they are against these decisions, they have the right to express that at the ballot box come 2027 or whenever the case may be. But the point I want to make is, but they have decided, right? They did vote for these people already. And it wasn't this party that these people have now defected to that they've chosen to. So if you're saying that people should just wait for the next time elections come around to show their dismay, it undercuts the whole process in the first place, because these people have already voted. They voted for these politicians to be within this party. And should they defect, it almost feels as though the electorate have really no say in the direction and the pacing of the politics around them, if these decisions can be made without their consideration at all?
They definitely do have a say. I am a living example. I was a member House of Reps. I mean, I was put through referendum to be recalled. Actual voting in my constituency. The people of my constituency, you know, some said they did not want me to be there. And there was a referendum, and by the grace of God, I won. So which means the people still have the right to say, look, you have decided to defect to another party that we didn't vote you into. We didn't vote that party. So the people can still exercise their rights and their franchise because we are operating democracy. So no matter what you look at it, the people need to rise up and probably recall these people, because that's the only constitutional, legal way to go about it. If they don't want these members moving to APC or any other party, for that matter, you know, they can recall them. That's pretty constitutional, and the only thing they have to do now before the election comes.
Well, by March 25, there had been this talk about coalition politics. Nasir El-Rufai, one of the founding members of the APC, was the first person to walk away, and in a loud manner too. And since then, we've seen him teaming up with other people. How much of a threat do you think that this emerging coalition, the one led by Peter Obi, Atiku Abubakar, Nasir El-Rufai, and the Iron Tent Coalition, I think that's the name of the alternative that has also been provided by Professor Patu Tome. How much of a threat do you think that these groups pose to President Tinubu? Because their ambition is to get Tinubu out of power and to get the APC also out of power. Or you think they are just making noise? It doesn't matter. We should ignore them. No.
We don't ignore anybody. They are Nigerians. They have equal rights, with us in this country. So they have the right, and we don't think they are just making noise. No, they are all responsible Nigerians who don't agree with what we are doing as a government. So we are watching them, and we're also trying to make sure they don't succeed, because this politics, as far as they are concerned, we're not doing the right thing, and that they will try to remove us, whichever way they will try to do. So we also are working behind the scene to ensure that they don't rear their heads and defeat us as a party, So, but we don't ignore them. We respect them. They are, respectable Nigerians who have contributed in one, at one time or the other in the development of this country. So we respect them. We also appreciate what they are doing, and that's part of the democracy also. They don't have to agree with us, and they can continue to collate while we continue to disband them. Absolutely, it's also part of us, part of what we should do to make sure they don't,
Okay, but just before we go, I mean, you are a foundation member of the APC. That was how we introduced you. Now, one of those foundation members happens to be Nasir El-Rufai. And he's so disappointed. And he says that the party has moved away from the ideals of the founding fathers. And he thinks that, in fact, the Tinubu team is not up to scrap. What do you think of Nasir El-Rufai's complete turnaround against the same party that he founded, against the same president that he helped to promote, as we begin to wrap up now?
My honest opinion, it's selfish and personal, to him. All the things he's talking about Tinubu now, talking about the party not being there, all the party has walked away from its ideals. It's simply because he's not a minister today. That's the truth. If he were a minister, he wouldn't be talking like this. Because we are yet to see, those kind of elites walking away from prerequisites of office. So as far as I'm concerned, my friend and brother, Nasir El-Rufai, it's ranting simply because he lost out the ministerial slot. Simple. That's, so I don't want to discuss, go further on that. But honestly, that is it. That's all. Because the same El-Rufai who said all sorts of things about other people who did not agree with Tinubu in the northern part of the country, to make sure that Tinubu becomes the candidate of the party, said all sorts of things. Now God answered his prayer. Tinubu got the ticket. Tinubu won the election. He was promised ministerial appointment. He didn't get it. So he's not taking it lightly. So it's on a personal note, I'm sure, that he's not happy. And he's entitled to his opinion. Yes, he's not happy, he's not happy. But then he should not pull down, the roof just because he lost out. So many people have lost out in this system, but they're still with the party. So if it's not about your personal interest, you should consider the interest of everyone, Like he should remember how he became a governor for 8 years under this same party. Was he not the same person who took also the party to court, when President Buhari was in government, when he didn't agree with it? He didn't move away. He didn't resign as the member of the party or move to another party because it was very convenient for him that time. So now El-Rufai could still have explored those kind of positions and situations to make sure that his grievances are aired and so on and so forth. And he's a fighter. He should be able to have stayed. To me, he has just chickened out. Simple.
Okay, Mr. Farouk Aliyu, former member of the House of Representatives and a founding member of the All Progressive Congress, thank you for joining us this morning.